Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another exciting episode of Grant Source Live. And today is Testimonial Tuesday. I have a very special guest, my brother and friend, Mr. Matthew Newman. But before we get to Mr. Newman, I got to give a shout out to our sponsors. For all of you that are trying to get a presence on the web, it starts with a domain and a website. If you don't have one, you can go in our platform. GoDaddy is offering 30% off to everybody in our community. And once you get that list that you start to build of people that enjoy your brand, you can blast it off with email marketing through Constant Contact. Now, without further ado, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Matthew Newman. How you doing, baby?
Man, life is great, man. Things are going very well. It's a great Friday. We made it. For those who thought they didn't make it, we made it.
Absolutely, man. I mean, to be where you are right now, from where we came from, we're doing this Testimonial Tuesday for this, man. It almost brings me to tears. Anthony, bring up that picture. I'm going to take you back to 2006. We're going to go back in time, man.
You got pictures. I love it.
Oh, to when we were. Oh.
I love it.
We looked fly, but we were still eating fish and beans.
Yes.
I mean, this is in college. We go way back.
Yeah.
And this is a community service organization. What was this week? This is week of elegance, right?
Yeah, week of elegance for sure, and that's in front of the business building on the campus of UT San Antonio.
UT San Antonio, 2006. So before we go to the next picture and go down to memory lane, Mr. Newman, tell us what you're passionate about.
Man, there's a lot of things, but ultimately the passion that I've grown to accept and recognize is a passion for helping others. And you know, the funny part too is that the passion for helping others is a bit cliche to most because many people hopefully aren't operating in whatever they do selfishly, and they have a burning desire to help someone else in whatever aspect of their lives they find themselves in, whether that's work, whether that's religion, whether that's academia, whatever it is. But in essence, I truly have a passion for helping others. And I've learned over the years that as you bless others, you in turn are blessed. And that has been my testament and my testimony for the past few years. And I'm a living witness of that for sure.
And he is a living witness. We have a picture. And for those of you that don't know, Mr. Newman is not only an entrepreneur, but he is the former Big Brother of the Year. And we have a picture of him and his little brother. I've been blessed to see this gentleman and just graduated high school. But since Anthony was what year, how old was Anthony when you started with him?
9 years old. And he's
9 years old. 9 years old. I mean, that's incredible. We graduated together. We've gone on trips together. Just to see the growth that has happened over this last, 10, 15 years is incredible, man. Yeah. What inspires you?
Yeah, what inspires me is seeing my little brother inspired. As we're on the topic of my little brother, I met my little brother in December of 2009, yep. And it was approximately to the date 2 months after I was let go of my first career out of college, first career. And we've always heard it said that you go to college, you get a degree, and you get out and you get a good job. But what happens when that good job fails you? What happens when you fail at that good job and you are left or placed in a situation that is deemed as a place you can't get out of or a place you can't escape? What do? And I realized that I had a 30-day mark or a 30-day goal to reach. And when I did not reach that goal, I was let go. But I made up my mind that day that I knew I was going to be let go, that I was going to walk into that job with a full suit on. And after, I would walk into an office, and that office was the office of a renowned mentoring organization. And I said that there has to be somebody else that I can bless. There has to be someone else who's more jacked up than I am, who needs a bit more direction than I do. And that's where I was introduced to several folks, but realized that the true connection lied between my little brother and me. And was he jacked up? The answer is no. Was he dealing with things that a 9-year-old shouldn't have been dealing with? Absolutely. Is he dealing with things now that a 19-year-old should happen to deal with? Absolutely. But as Alan just mentioned, he's graduated school, high school, and now he's a part of El Centro College. I'm studying IT. So he's now on the right path. And so the piece that we all have to remember is that we have to find something that inspires us, something or someone. And I guarantee you that when you look to help or give direction to someone else, I guarantee that that person who you're helping will most likely give direction to you that you didn't think that you needed. So the whole goal behind this is behind inspiration and behind passion is to present or expose someone to a different reality that they wouldn't have been exposed to or presented with if they would not have met you. So the question to all of you all watching is, yes, it is Testimony Tuesday, but not only for my success that others have contributed to me, what I've contributed to others, but more so than anything, it's like how are we spreading this inspiration and spreading these testimonies so others can live out their best lives as well. So I'm extremely proud of my little brother and the life that he's living, and of course, the best is still yet to come for him.
Now, and we're about to go to another picture here. I know what some of you are saying. This gentleman kind of sounds like a pastor, a preacher, a minister. And for those of you that don't know, not only is he an entrepreneur, he is also a minister. And he has poured into the lives of many others and just has that servant heart and has been blessed. So not only has he been a minister, started nonprofit organizations, been a mentor to young kids, he has also had a ton of success as an entrepreneur. And that's what we're talking about. Right after he came after that obstacle, he turned it into an opportunity and started working for one of the largest brands. So tell us how your journey, right? Because you didn't start a company right away. You went to work for somebody else, correct? Absolutely. And you work with some of the largest celebrities in the world.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's always a story. There's always a story. And the story began, yes, with the mentorship. But after that, it was the realization that I had to do something. So I started to work freelance for a huge telecom or wireless carrier brand and started to tour the nation with them for 6.5 months and with a gospel choir competition and really got my groundwork and my footwork there. And it was one of the greatest opportunities that I've had to date, besides working with the Wall Street Journal and Dow Jones and covering 3 territories with that organization as well. But with the wireless carrier, that industry is deemed as brand marketing and communications. But during that time, I was still broke and disgusted.
Yep.
And although
we have a couple of pictures of that.
Although I was still getting my footing and my groundwork, I began to recognize that I had to do something different. And I said, okay, when I get off of tour, I'm going to start my own yard care company. And that's what I did. I started my own yard care company called My Lawnmower and Me. It's been in business since 2012. I mean, we've been doing incredibly well. We have 2 crews. We have an admin director working, so 3 people on payroll, so success there. But we're really beginning to scale that business too and have developed a mobile app that will release in March called the Social Yard Care app. So a lot of good things that are happening with that business that we plan on doing and scaling into the Houston area and also into the Los Angeles, California area. In addition to that, all of my folks are contractors. The crews, these are people who are already servicing other properties on their own. But my philosophy behind my yard care company is to help others to acquire not only more money, but also more books of business. And so again, it all goes back to the philosophy of helping others. And if you can help more folks, you too will be blessed.
Phenomenal. And some of the celebrities that you've helped and worked with before you started, and you wanted to not only have your piece in corporate America, but represent that large brand that you said. You've worked with Kelly Rowland. You've worked with professional football players like DeMarcus Ware. You've worked, and we have a couple photos of Mr. Newman in work all across. I remember, here's a funny story. We're in New York City and I came to visit him right when, and here's how to turn your obstacles into opportunity. Remember what's your tagline?
Hashtag
Mr. What?
catch on fire.
Mr. Catch on Fire. When the Samsungs were blowing up, I was in the crowd with a Catch on Fire hat on. I almost got kicked out. But here's a photo of him with Kelly Rowland, representing the brand. We have another one. That was a great time, but represented the brand to its fullest, cut his teeth, and understood the industry and started his own brand. Tell us about the brand pillars.
Yeah, so for sure. So the pictures that you guys are seeing now with Kelly Rowland is working with Samsung, and I've been working with them for the past 7.5 years. The wireless carrier that I mentioned was a separate organization. However, with specifically with Samsung, I have been fortunate to have been on the production side, the staffing side, the regional manager side, the whole on both mobile and home appliance. And it's been an absolute blessing working with some of the greatest brains in the industry to conceptualize how you take someone's brand and create an optimal experience for consumers is like none other. And so working with these folks, not only domestically, but internationally, and having the opportunity to train on product and train on consumer engagement has been a blessing above all. So yeah, worked with Kelly Rowland, worked with Mary J. Blige, worked with Charlie XCX and DeMarcus Ware and Gary Clark Jr. and Leanne LaHavis and so many other wonderful folks that this is Janae Aiko in Dallas, have worked with some phenomenal people in the industry, those who have truly become influencers for the brand. So it's one of those things that you literally evolve, you literally grow until one day you wake up and you're in the exact same place that you had prayed for and that you wished for. And that's where the brand pillars comes into play. The funny part is with the brand pillars is that I've managed books of business with several of the top talent agencies in the brand marketing and communications industry. But I too have found some flaws in there, just like I did with the mentoring organization, which is how I started my own mentoring foundation. Saw some flaws, and I said, if we can just adjust the flaws, then this can be a phenomenal, phenomenal opportunity. And so what I did was we always learned that if you can find a void and fill it, then you can be successful. And when you find a void and you fill that void, and you find that people are just headhunting in talent agencies and they just want a body in place, if you can find a way to qualify these people and put them into a place and not only reward them monetarily, there'll be people who will help your brand succeed. And that's where the brand pillars comes in. We are a boutique agency that staffs talent, promotional models, brand ambassadors, managers, leads, etc., to represent some of the biggest brands that you could ever imagine. Some of our clients have been Aston Martin and Bentley. Thank God, one of my mentors, one of my great friends out of LA has introduced us into that network of folks for Aston Martin and Bentley in El Dorado Hills, California. We've worked with Yahoo. We've worked with, who else? Disney in Hollywood just this past October. So we've worked with some really good brands, and we have now had the opportunity to.
So hold on, Mnu. Before we get to that,
yes,
that last one, I'm going to take people back, and you talk about praying for opportunity. So I'm going to take you back to December 16th, 2008. And we were sitting on the steps and we said, we're going to make it. We've made it to this point, and we're going to pray that one day we're going to have multi-million-dollar companies that take things to the next level and not only make money, but also make an impact. The graduation picture.
Yes. A graduation.
Yeah. So taking you back to December 2008.
Yeah.
Boom. You remember that?
Absolutely.
That's graduation day at UTSA.
Yep.
And now, a few years after that, I'll take you to another place where we didn't think that we'd be able to make it.
Yeah.
But we were together the day that you launched the brand pillars.
Yes.
Out in Austin.
Yep. That's the picture.
I told you, man, a couple years from now, this thing's going to be huge. bigger than you ever believed, thought, or imagined.
Yep.
And now you're at the point where you have a multi-million-dollar book of business. So
Yeah.
I say, sir, congratulations.
Thanks so much, man. Yeah, it's a blessing, dude. And you said it at this night, which was March 11th, 2017, and literally almost two months to the date, we will have the opportunity to be in Austin, now working South by Southwest with the brand that I love so much, from the dates of March 5 until March 17th, which will actually intercept the date that we launched 2 years ago. And now, as you said, we have, it's there's a scripture, and I don't want to bring religious persuasion into this, but it's a scripture that says, eyes have not seen, nor ears have heard, nor has it entered into the heart of man what God has in store for those who love him and trust him and believe in him. And it was on that day that you have a room of 15 to 20 people, but now you have a network of 300 people that are being staffed all around the country, that are now being able to turn 300 people into literally a multi-million-dollar business. And so it has been, man, it's unfathomable. It is. It's unfathomable to realize that you, no matter who you are, you can be in control of your destiny. You can control the amount of income that comes in. You don't have to succumb to the typical thought of working for someone else. I was just downstairs in my Dallas apartment the other day, and kind of like the Sky Deck area, working probably with one of my account managers. And it was a guy who I'm assuming he's in medical device sales, and I'm sure he makes great money. But he said, I'm going to work till 8:45, and then I'm going to go meet you for dinner. Yep. So we all have that story to where we're working and grinding for someone else. But the question ultimately is, when is it going to be grinding for you? When is it going to be grinding for you? So that's the blessing that's here in store. Is, yes, it's a multi-million-dollar business. But just as I said for my little brother, Anthony, the best for sure is certainly yet to come.
And I'm going to say it right here, and we're going to pray for big goals, right? I'm going to say it right here. You're going to turn the brand pillars into a $1 billion brand.
Absolutely.
And I believe it. I'm speaking it right now, just as we did that first time in that apartment where there was just a few people.
Yeah.
It's going to be a worldwide brand, because what you're doing is incredible. We work marketing, and we were praying for an opportunity when we were in college, and we came across marketing when most people were making, minimum wage on the weekends. We were making $20, $30, $40 an hour for these marketing events, and you're giving students all across the world that same opportunity and it to be readily available. So thank you for that. That's going to be a huge impact.
Thanks, brother. I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Excellent. So that is Matthew Newman. What I always like to ask each one of our guests, Matthew, what can our community do to help you?
Yeah, I believe what the community can do is everyone dial into, I'm going to take it back to the people, and the people is not even the brand pillars. You can go to the www.thebrandpillars.com. Fantastic. But more than anything, I want you all to visit www.forthelifeofyou.org, forthelifeofyou.org, because everything that I do is not for me. It's certainly for those who need exposure to a different reality of life. And those are the youth that we help day in and day out, those that we give bikes away to every single year. Those are the people that could truly be helped. We're blessed. And so if you're watching this, I'm sure you're blessed. So dial in, www.forthelifeofyou.org. And I want to leave Alan with this to share with everyone, is that even for those that you help, it's important for everyone to know that success is every day. Success is not someday. Success is every day. It is taking the steps every single day that truly matter. It could contribute positively to your future. I'm appreciative of this opportunity. Thank you.
Absolutely. And we're running a little long, but I brought this gentleman on to talk about a testimonial for his business, and he's talking about youth and giving back. Just shows you, a little bit about Matthew Newman and what he's been able to accomplish. Brother, I appreciate you. And if you could tell us, what do you like about the Grant Source platform?
Yeah, what I love about the Grant Source platform is that it's helped tremendously. Not only does the Grant Source still help to provide opportunities for small businesses and nonprofits, which is incredibly advantageous to all. However, the brand pillars too continue to support back in. You know, they've been able to support several of, or not several, excuse me, the couple of bike giveaways that we've had and helped to take us from 10 bikes into 33 bikes and now into 100 bikes this fiscal year in 2019. So that's one thing that I love about about Grant Source overall. But when it comes to the platform itself, is when you're looking for small business grants or things that can contribute to even your nonprofit organization, one of the things that distracts people is the complexity of the platform. But Grant Source has a very simple to use platform that gets straight to the point to get you the funds that you need in order to not only scale your business, but also to pour back into, even if it's just a home office, even if it's just one location, provide an ease of access in order to get you exactly what you need in order to take your organization to the next level.
Mr. Newman, I appreciate you, man. I love you. And I'm glad that, you know, we're able to get this thing to the next level. The best is truly yet to come for you and your family, man. I can't say it enough. I got something in my eye on my own show. You know what I'm saying? Well, that's our time. Mr. Newman, thank you. I want to say a special thanks to our sponsors, GoDaddy and Constant Contact, for sponsoring the show. Again, I'm Alan Thornton, CEO and founder of Grant Source, where we help you find money for your mission. And remember, it's not about the money. It's all about the impact. Have a blessed day.